Call to Adventure, the Stormlight Archive, how to play. To learn how to set up the game, check out this video. In the Stormlight Archive, the object of the game is to create a hero with the highest destiny score. Your destiny score is made up of your triumph, tragedy, and experience. On your turn, you may choose to use any number of card abilities, play hero or anti-hero cards, and/or journey. But on every turn, you must either gain a trait or face a challenge. Traits have one path indicated at the top of the card, while challenges have two paths indicated both at the top and bottom of the card. To gain a trait, simply take it from the face-up selection on the table. If it has a stated prerequisite, then you must meet that prerequisite before you can take it. Gained traits in Act 1 go behind your origin card so that the top of the trait card is visible. Traits in Act 2 go behind your motivation card, and Act 3 traits go behind your destiny card. Apply any trait abilities from the text of the card when you gain it or when it says to apply it. All cards on your board, plus any gained ally cards, make up your hero's story. To attempt a challenge, pick a face-up challenge card you wish to face and declare which path you are taking from either the top or the bottom. The difficulty of each challenge is indicated by the number in the top left of the card. If the path you choose contains a +1 icon, then the difficulty is increased by 1. Next, you gather your pool of rune stones to roll. There are 3 types of runes: core runes, ability runes, and dark runes. You always add all 3 core runes to each challenge. Then you add ability rune stones, as indicated by the visible rune icons in your story, 1 rune stone per icon. You may only use the runes that match the relevant icons in the challenge. Each challenge has 2 relevant icons you can match with. These are located just below the difficulty number. You may only ever add a maximum of 3 rune stones of each color. The special rune stone with the 3 dots is always added last as the 3rd and final rune. During a challenge, you may also spend 1 experience token to add 1 dark rune stone. You may add up to 3 dark runes per turn, unless your corruption marker is at the bottom of the corruption track. Then you may not spend experience to roll dark runes. Next, you may play hero or anti-hero cards in your hand that say, "Play this before any hero attempts a challenge," and apply their effects. Finally, you cast the runes. To cast the runes, gather up your pool of applicable rune stones and toss them on the table. This is called an attempt. In the rare event that a stone lands on its side, you pick which side you want to be face up. Add up the combined value of all the cast runes. If a rune shows a single line, that value is 1. If a rune shows a symbol with 3 dots, or a moon, that value is 2. If a rune shows a red diamond or a triangle, then that value is 0. A rune with a red diamond allows you to gain 1 experience immediately. If your attempt is equal to or greater than the difficulty of the challenge, then you gain that challenge card. The challenge card is placed under the appropriate character card based on which act you are in, with either the top or bottom of the card showing based on the path taken. If you fail the challenge, then discard the challenge from the table and gain 1 experience token. Whenever you gain or discard a card from the table, replace it with another card from the corresponding act deck. If you are in a situation where every card on the table is a trait you cannot gain, then discard 1 face-up card and continue your turn. Whenever you cast a rune with a white triangle, or whenever you gain a story path that has a white hero deck symbol, draw 1 card from the top of the hero deck. If you get a black triangle or dark anti-hero symbol, then draw 1 card from the anti-hero deck. If you get a rune with both triangles on it, you may pick which deck to draw from. Your position on the corruption track determines whether you can play hero or anti-hero cards. 2 spots on the corruption tracker allow you to play both. Whenever you cast a dark rune and get a moon, or have a moon icon from an ability or effect, move your hero tracker down 1 space on the corruption tracker. A sun icon moves you up the corruption track. Cards may be played at any time unless it is specified on the card. This includes playing on other players' turns. When multiple cards are played, resolve the cards in reverse order, starting with the last card played and then resolving to the first card played. When playing a card, place it face up in front of you in a single overlapping pile near your story. At the end of the game, these cards add triumph or tragedy points to your score as indicated by the number in the top left. White is triumph and black is tragedy. Allies are special cards in Act 1 and Act 2. When an ally card is revealed from the Act deck, place it underneath any face-up challenge card so the top of the card is visible. You may only have 1 ally per challenge. When you overcome a challenge with an ally, you gain the ally face-up beside your game board. You may use that ally's ability as you see fit. To sacrifice an ally, flip the card face down. Face-down allies' abilities may not be used. Once a turn, you may choose to journey. Before gaining a trait or facing a challenge, spend 1 experience to discard and then replace 1 face-up act card. If you discard a challenge that has an attached ally, the ally is also discarded. Once you have gained a trait or faced a challenge, and have finished playing cards, journeying, and/or activating card abilities, your turn ends, and the next player clockwise goes. When you have gained at least 3 act cards in the same act, you must end that act, and you may no longer gain traits or face challenges from that act. At the start of the turn of the first player to complete an act, that player reveals the next act by revealing the next row of cards. All players may interact with cards in any face-up act so long as they have not already completed that act. Some act cards have the story icons Divinity, Justice, Arcana, Royalty, Villainy, and Radiant. Collecting sets of matching story icons will provide destiny points at the end of the game. Having a single icon is worth 0 points. 2 matching story icons are worth 2 points, 3 is worth 4 points, and 4 or more is worth 8 points. The Radiant icon is a special story icon. When you have multiple of these in your story, it can unlock abilities with your Radiant Destiny card. When attempting a challenge path that has a Radiant icon, you may not use dark runes. Also, any ability or card effect that would give you dark runes is ignored. Each Radiant Destiny has a special power that is unlocked when you have a certain number of Radiant icons, and some hero cards are also activated by Radiant icons. These abilities count any Radiant icons in your story and can be temporarily unlocked by abilities that give you Radiant icons until the end of the turn. As you begin Act 3, if you have a Radiant or Mastermind Destiny card, you reveal it. When one player has gained 3 cards under their Destiny card, their final act is closed and all other players take 1 final turn, then the game ends. If you are playing solo or cooperative, you will now face off against Odium. Check out this video for the special solo and co-op rules. The game is now over. Reveal any face-down Destiny cards, and calculate the final score on the score pad for each player as follows. Gain points from your Destiny card based on the requirements. Add up all the Triumph and Tragedy points that are visible in your story from paths and allies. Add the Triumph or Tragedy modifier from your final position on the Corruption track. Add 1 point for each experience token you have. Add 1 point for each hero and anti-hero card, regardless of your position on the Corruption track. Add points for multiple story icons. Total up the points to determine your Destiny score. The player with the highest score wins. Each player may now tell their story and describe how their character and story paths all fit together. If you need help understanding something, Check out pages 13 through 16 in the rulebook for a glossary of terms and frequently asked questions. The last page in the rulebook also contains a helpful quick start guide.